Do you ever do you ever put shit in your front pockets?
Not these, no, because it's buttons.
Yeah, my dad is the only person I ever knew that would have it like filled to the brim with receipts and fucking like he didn't have pants.
Yeah, if I had more kids, there's a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think he saved his bottom pockets exclusively for shoplifting.
Nice.
Cool guy.
Well, kept you guys well fed.
It was mostly candy bars, so probably a result of diabetes. But
I was going to make a diabetes joke, and then I'm like, he's a little defensive about that.
Oh, no.
He wants to make sure. Well, you're very committed to the idea that you did not get diabetes through any action of yours.
Yes.
Like when I get diabetes, it's going to be totally my fault.
Your fault.
Yeah.
Although you won't have to change your diet that much because the celiac is kind of similar to the diabetic diet, right?
I mean, I think it's different. I mean, the big thing is that I'm already used to not being happy.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. That's the big thing. Like I'm already
essentially
used to
Buddhism.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a philosophical thing that I'm already ready for.
Yeah.
There's an understanding that other people are going to be happy around me and I need to watch them do the things that I wish I was doing.
Yeah. Buddhism really just sounds like depression to me.
Buddhism is it's more like denialism. Like you're depressed, but you pretend you're okay with it.
Yeah. Irish.
As I understand it.
Yeah. It's basically Irish without booze.
I mean, that's not even Irish, really. That's, I don't know what that is. Finnish? Do the Finns drink a lot?
Oh, yeah. And I think they do like designer hard drugs.
Okay.
The documentaries I've seen, any.
Yeah.
The big metal scene, and they like their methamphetamine.
Yeah, that sounds right. You're talking about the documentaries Mike Myers used to do on Saturday Night Live, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sometimes I forget you're younger than I.
What was this?
Mike Myers used to do like this character's Dieter on Sprockets. There's all this very East German thing, and they were always in these weird raves, and yeah.
Okay. Mike Myers is a fucking weirdo, right?
Yeah, he's a strange guy from everything I've heard.
Yeah.
Like did a couple of real successful things, and very hard to work with, like alienated Dana Carvey, just kept pissing people off.
Interesting.
Like, he had to do, so he was supposed to do a Sprockets movie about that character Dieter, and things went so badly that like he got in a war with Ron Howard, which who gets mad with Ron Howard?
Yeah.
And then he had to make the Cat in the Hat so that they wouldn't sue him. So that's how he wound up doing the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, I figured some of these guys just get so much money that they just go, fuck it.
I don't think he's got that kind of money. I mean, he's got a lot of money.
Oh, it's got to be crazy. Isn't he Shrek?
I don't think he made a ton of money for Shrek. Like voiceover work doesn't get you that kind of crazy money. I'm sure he made far more off of Austin Powers because he wrote those.
And he made 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they did 4 Shreks.
2 Wayne's Worlds.
Yeah.
He was huge.
He improvised in Shrek, but he was just an actor for that. He's just a voice actor.
Yeah, but it was like, I mean, one of the biggest movies ever. I've never seen it.
I'm telling you, like the voice actors don't get the money that people think they do. I mean, they did well. I'm not saying that he had to, drive there in a Saturn.
Yeah.
But I'm promising you, he did not make nearly as much for doing Shrek as he did for any other live movie he did. Okay. Aside from maybe the cameo in Inglourious Basterds.
Oh, he was very good in that.
He was good in that. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That is a very good movie. I have to be very careful when I watch if my son's home.
Why?
It's really fucking violent, dude.
So what do you think? He's going to go fucking beat people up?
No, he doesn't like it. My son does not like violent stuff at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like blood freaks him out. He does not like it.
I was never protected from any violence.
Yeah. He's fine with animated violence.
I wasn't allowed to see a movie with nipples till I was 32, though.
You didn't miss anything. I've seen all the nipple movies.
I could see a movie where nipples were cut off.
Yeah.
But
all right. Hey, sports.
Oh yeah, that's the point of our show.
Boston Celtics are up 2-0, and I did not think that was going to happen.
I was very nervous. Yes.
Second game. First game, I really thought we were going to lose at the end. It really felt like a game that both of these felt like games we lose even 1 year ago.
I mean, even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that last play reeked of we're not even going to get a shot off.
Yes. I couldn't believe Marcus Smart didn't just fire up a 3-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe any of it. That he made the extra pass, then another extra pass.
Well, the Nets played great D. They closed out on him so well that he didn't get a chance to be stupid.
Yeah. No, give him credit. He drew the defenders in. Once he faked for the shot, he was never going for the shot. He faked so that he could drive past them.
Well, because he had Claxton and another 7-footer like bearing down on him. They played him very well.
They didn't play him well because he was open for the pass.
But just everybody stopped.
Yeah.
Well, it was smart to not call the timeout. If you called the timeout, then they would have played better defense. The reason he was open was we basically had a semi-fast break.
Yeah. No, the Celtics made every right decision in that. It was amazing. From Ime not calling the timeout, to Marcus not taking that shot, to Tatum not hanging out, waiting for the pass, just going down when he saw the opening.
I can't believe he cut. Everything about the modern NBA says don't cut.
Yeah. It was beautiful. They really defied expectations on that play and got an easy layup. I love when Tatum said that.
The opposite of everything I've seen for 5 years.
Starting with Ime, starting with the idea of you need to call your players out and coach them hard. At the beginning of this season, I was like, all right, he's going to coach one season because the modern NBA player does not want to get called out the way that he keeps calling them out. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
these guys suck.
all October, November, and December, he's like, hey, what the hell is wrong with these guys? I'm sorry. They need to toughen up. These guys are killing me.
Yeah,
and going, Jesus Christ, Ime, you're going to get fired before the end of the season. And he kept saying.
The easy answer to the question is like, Jalen got healthy and we just got good.
It's more than that because they had times of relative health that they were not playing well.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two pillars of the team.
But Ime kept saying, these guys told me to coach them hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys played together and didn't play well at times. I mean, Jalen and Jason were healthy for long stretches last year, and they still gave up leads at the end. They didn't make the last play. Ime came in and said, the only thing missing here is mental toughness. These guys, Brad Stevens is a good coach, but he's coached them soft. He's been a player's guy for young guys who need to get tougher. And he was willing to risk his whole career on saying, I'm going to coach against the way every other coach is coaching right now.
All for that. It goes against my initial theory that I could coach the Celtics and it would be just about as good.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
But no, isn't the easier answer is we're not paying Kemba Walker $32 million?
Well,
and instead we're paying Al Horford, who I read today, not read, by read I mean listened to a podcast, that he had more isolation defensive plays than anybody in the entire NBA this year.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean there was a case for him being the defensive player of the year. Like according to Zach Lowe, our season shifted when we switched him to the tough shit, and we basically started putting Robert Williams in the corner to just collapse and wreak havoc.
To just be the free safety.
The Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean? Let's let Captain America come up with the fucking plan, and then we'll have the Hulk do Hulky stuff. Yeah.
It's true. Al Horford has been a huge part of this team all year.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be a good part of the team. I didn't expect it to be this big.
No. I suppose it's a little frightening that can we just extend him to next year?
Well, we have the option, I believe, of picking up his contract next year.
Yeah, so we'll probably do that.
So yeah, we can pick it up, and we will.
Yeah, and then we're probably gonna have this crazy salary after a while.
His is not that bad next year. It's in the 20s. I mean, it's not little, but
yeah, but we're paying Tatum like 50.
We're paying Tatum, we're paying Jalen, we're paying Marcus.
Yeah, and then eventually Brown will get a max.
Yeah, Tatum's not getting the crazy Westbrook money yet because this is his first extension.
You have to be 10 years in the league to get that.
Yeah, he's still in the 20s.
Yeah.
And
do you think
Jalen's
Westbrook will be assassinated?
What?
Do you think Westbrook will be assassinated? There's really no other way.
Yeah. I mean, they really need to see if Rob Pelinka is making any calls to Eastern Europe.
Yeah, he might have to fucking have him go fight for the Ukraine. He'd be good at that.
It's your duty, Russ.
He's nobody wants that guy.
As bad as his deal is, anyone in the last year of his contract can be traded because then you get the free money up off your books. So there's always a chance they're going to be able to make a deal with Russ. That's what I've come around to. Is just remembering this is the last year of Russell Westbrook's contract. So they're not gonna, I don't think, do the thing where they say, all right, we're just going to release you and spread the money out over the next 3 years. Because I think some team
He's got like 3 years left, though.
What is that?
Doesn't he have like 3 years left?
I think it's 1 year.
I don't know.
Producer Paul, can you possibly look up the contract of Russell Westbrook, please?
Yeah. We need to know about the only team that isn't in the NBA playoffs.
But if he's in the last year of his contract, which I thought he was, you can always trade the last year for whatever the money is.
Yeah, they don't have picks to throw in.
No.
So yeah, it would be a straight swap like that. So you'd have to be a really disgraced player.
I have come around to the idea. I want to spend more time on the Celtics because I really loved it. But just
we probably should. I don't know how that. I'm taking the blame on that little tributary.
I think I'm going to let you have it. But real quick on the Lakers, I've come around.
But this one's over. Okay, yeah. So you're right.
Okay, so 1 year. So they're probably. I don't even know if they're going to be willing to buy him out because you can always trade the last year of a deal.
Yeah, and maybe he'll learn to shoot this year.
As down as I am on Anthony Davis, and I'm as down on him as almost anybody, I still do come around because we were having the conversation last week. It's probably still worth it for them to have done that deal, only and specifically because the window for LeBron to win something in Los Angeles was
might be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA is so fucking good right now.
Yeah.
That I don't even know if that team that won would have won this year.
That team would not have won had they not been in the bubble.
I've heard that theory, but I mean, weren't they the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Before? They were good the whole year.
They were a high seed. I don't know if they were 1.
They were good the whole year, and it's not that crazy to think LeBron James might win the NBA championship.
It's not, but being in the NBA, the two of them, especially once you saw LeBron starting to break down after that year, Anthony Davis has always broken down. The fact that they did not have to have any travel in the bubble made a huge difference for them. There was no time difference. There were none of that. You could just be with your trainers all the time, sleeping in the same bed every night. That was a huge benefit for them.
Yep. You don't have to hear from your fucking wife.
Right? Yeah. All basketball. I mean, just having a wife is so much damage to your NCO.
Gotta hurt your hoop game.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right, back to Boston.
What's a hot take on Boston? Oh, another reason they're just better this year is Pritchard and Grant Williams. That's more shooting than we've ever had off the bench.
Yeah, those guys have both taken a step up in their game. Yeah, but I don't think anything matters as much as Ime has gotten Jalen and Jason to play together better and to play tougher.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, certainly. Especially Tatum has become a better creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had 10 assists. I mean, that wasn't even in play for him for years. But a big part of that is when you drive and you kick it to the corner, which is like outside of a dunk, the best shot in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We were passing it to like fucking Semi Ojeleye.
Yes.
And he was throwing it into the stands.
Yeah.
He would have
Grant Williams shockingly becoming a proficient 3-point shooter has made a huge difference.
Grant Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. He's awesome. He's a perfect bench player. You could make the case, turned that game.
Came out of nowhere, too.
Yeah, because he hasn't shot it as well the second half of the year. He was shooting like 60% from the corner at one point.
Yeah, but when he started his career, the running joke was he missed his first 10 shots.
Oh, I think more.
Yeah, it was probably more.
I mean, it was like a month.
Running joke that he would never hit a 3-pointer.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he'd be in China.
Yep. I mean, he was a guy who spent all 4 years in Tennessee, exceedingly average, and then came into the NBA and found specifically what.
I thought he went to Virginia.
Tennessee.
Oh, so he wasn't on that championship Virginia team?
No.
Was there a championship Virginia team?
I don't think so.
Might have been a dream I had.
Vanderbilt, I think.
Okay. I'm not thinking of Vanderbilt, but I think Tennessee and Virginia are both orange, so I knew an orange team won.
Yes, Tennessee and Virginia are both orange.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Another goof.
How's your blood sugar doing, Dan?
Retro.
Uh-oh. Do you need a cookie?
No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. That was for humor.
So, I mean, I don't think they win either of those games even a year ago. No. And especially the second game. The second game I wrote off in the first half. They're saying they were so excited about the first game win that they're just like, all right, well, we're going to lose this one. And they just kept going at them.
Yeah.
They kept going to Brooklyn.
It also helps that the Brooklyn Nets have exactly two good players.
Yeah.
And that one of them doesn't play defense at all.
No. And one of them, I'm sorry, suddenly we saw the Kyrie Irving that we had in Boston against Milwaukee in game number 2.
Mm-hmm.
As great as he was in game 1, in game 2, he just seemed like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah. Well, it was Ramadan.
It was Ramadan the first game.
You know, Jalen also is doing Ramadan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's not easy. I'm not pretending that Ramadan is not something very difficult for these guys to get through.
Has a player that wasn't selling no Ramadan involved, has a player just ever used I played bad because I was hungry as an excuse?
It feels like something Marvin Barnes must have said at some point in the ABA.
Yeah. Like I ate an early lunch.
There's no McDonald's here in Louisville. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But Kyrie was suddenly just the Kyrie who didn't want to be on the floor in Milwaukee. Like he wasn't shooting. He never plays defense, but he was, all the amazing plays he was making in game 1 just disappeared in game 2. He wasn't even putting up the shots.
Yeah, I think it was no coincidence that dude Brown had like the first 9 points because I think there must have been a team meeting. I'm guessing it was always the strategy that like we're just not letting these two guys beat us. Brown can score 50 if he wants to.
So let me ask you this. Any chance that the strategy from Nash was, hey guys, we've got to get the other team involved. I want you really feeding Bruce Brown. We got to get him going and that'll change everything. And Kyrie decided to pout because of that?
No, I think Kyrie, they showed his stats against the Celtics his last like 10 games, and there's like a 36-point game, and then he has a 19-point game, and then 19 for him is just not, that means he shot poorly. He's getting his shots. So what he does, and really what Durant does, is incredibly difficult. Like they take a lot of off the dribble long twos and are just really good at it. But you're just going to have games where that happens. Kyrie also, another thing that sucks about him is he really doesn't get to the line that much.
No.
He is one of the reasons he looks so cool is he'd rather throw up a floater than shoot 3 throws, even though he shoots like 90% from the line. I'd rather him just jump into a guy.
But I think he's afraid of getting hurt again. He doesn't want to do that. And I'm not totally sure he's wrong about that. He's a guy who gets hurt easily and doesn't come back quickly.
He's 6'1" and skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, that game too, the thing that really flipped it was 1, Grant shooting, and 2, every time we got the switch of Brown onto Irving, Brown just ate his shit. Yeah. Yep.
It takes a lot for me to admit, because I've never really liked Jaylen Brown that much. Mm-hmm. Or Marcus Smart.
I've loved them both.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like they've turned on a TV show.
Maybe they've just flourished in a way you never gave them credit for possibly being able to do.
Yeah. No, I'm thrilled to be wrong.
I'm still stunned at point guard Marcus Smart.
Like, wouldn't it be great if atheists still get into heaven?
All right, where are we going with this?
Like, the only way to get into heaven, per se, is that you have to accept Jesus as your savior.
It depends on the heaven, but go ahead.
Okay, yes, Christian heaven. But if you were just a stone cold atheist and you died and you ended up in heaven, you'd be thrilled to be wrong.
Yes, you would absolutely be thrilled to be wrong. But supposedly, not to get too theological here, but supposedly a big difference is if you were given the possibility to accept Jesus Christ as your savior, because one of the beliefs in Christianity, which is very silly, but is if you didn't know that Jesus was an option and you lived a good life, then you go to heaven. But if you knew Jesus was an option, and even if you lived a good life, you don't get to go to heaven anymore because you willfully denied him.
Yeah, yeah. I only know this from a Joe Wong bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you tell me?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be great if we just switched this to a theology podcast?
I mean, we'd probably double our listeners to 7.
What would you call our theology podcast?
Our theology podcast. I don't know. A diabetic and a celiac wants to know why God fucked up their bodies.
We can't eat the wafer.
There you go.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Yeah. No wafers, please.
That's an interesting pivot we've made.
It's high protein theology with Mike and Dan.
Is that your dog?
That's my dog.
Go get it.
I can't. She's upstairs. She saw something.
Yeah. All right.
She sees the squirrels. We have a lot of windows. We live near the woods. So
yesterday I saw a squirrel go at a bird. Is that a thing? Squirrels eat birds?
I don't know if they eat birds, but they definitely will go after them. Depends on the size.
Okay. That would be, I would watch that.
Bird,
I would watch a planet Earth that was just city wildlife.
Really?
I think it'd be interesting. Like one time I saw a seagull eating a donut, and then it went to fly and it just didn't move.
Oh.
And it was like, maybe proof of why like diabetes is so high in urban city communities.
In urban city birds?
Yeah, it's poor diet and lack of exercise, and it just shows the bird.
That's why you keep seeing so many pigeons pricking their wings. Nice. But they'll get good material out of it.
Yeah.
Strong material. So if the Celtics win this series, did they become the favorites in the East? I kind of think they do.
Well, Chris Middleton's out 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's bad.
That's bad. I don't know that Milwaukee wins without Middleton.
Yeah, and I'd have to think we're favored over Chicago because Ball's not coming back, right? And then I was watching them the other night. Levine is a free agent at the end of the year.
Yes.
And I think he'll leave because he's sort of just standing around watching DeRozan do stuff.
He's had a weird stretch in Chicago.
He was awesome last year. He might be a good stats, bad team guy, but I think he's just good.
Yeah. I mean, he just doesn't seem like he's been that happy this season, even though they had a good season.
Because, yeah, it's DeRozan, I don't think is that fun to play with. Only one guard gets to dribble.
Yeah.
Mike Conley scored 0 points the other night.
Kyle Lowry loved playing with him. Those guys.
DeRozan?
Yeah. DeRozan and Kyle Lowry in Toronto.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Levine. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're like besties. Those two dudes. I mean, DeRozan would be in the Hall of Fame if LeBron James didn't exist.
Kyle Lowry has to be kind of regretting, even though he's playing on the team that's the #1 seed and in Miami. Do you think he's regretting leaving Toronto?
No, because he's still beloved there.
He's beloved, but they were really good this year. Like he could have stayed in a place that he was already beloved with a team that was really on the rise.
Yeah, but they sucked last year.
But that's
did he leave this year?
He did a sign and trade in the offseason. He was a free agent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might regret it. But I don't know. That's the other thing is Miami might just win the East and prove everybody wrong.
I can't believe they're going to win the East.
Jimmy Butler scored like 40 the other night. I'd never thought of him as that guy.
He's not. But after the first round, Miami is never going to have the best player on the floor. Jimmy Butler is really good, but he's somewhere between 15 and 20 in the NBA. And I think
Bam is a lot better than people realize.
Bam's really good. Do you think Bam is going to be the best player on the floor at any point in the second round of the playoffs?
No, but I mean, I guess that guy Hero is. I don't watch them much. Nobody talks about them ever. But Hero's got really good, which I never thought would happen.
Hero's a really good scorer, but yeah, he's terrible on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about being able to hunt a guy.
And then, yeah, I mean, if Milwaukee's hurt, Middleton matters to them a lot.
Huge.
So, yeah, the Celtics might be the favorite. I'm just not willing to say it.
No.
Because my opinion matters.
I'm really annoyed. Like, I haven't been doing like headlining gigs since COVID. And I finally did this weekend. And all I want to do is stay home and watch basketball.
Yeah, I have a gig Saturday, so I think I'm gonna. I subscribe to XM, that I can listen to games. Mm-hmm. Like I listened to a whole Memphis game that was cool.
With XM, can you like with a DVR start it from the beginning, or do you have to pick it up live?
I haven't gotten that far.
Okay, because that would be good if you could just maintain radio silence and then start the game from the beginning when you get in the car to drive home.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this is possible.
I heard you could rewind live radio on Sirius. So it seems like it should be possible.
Well, all we can go by is that it is. Based on my guess, and then you heard.
Where's your gig on Saturday? How long's the drive?
Webster, Massachusetts.
Is that Western Mass?
Town named after Daniel Webster, the abolitionist.
Hey. See, Massachusetts, super progressive and open-minded.
Yeah. I'm still an abolitionist.
Oh, good. What are you trying to abolish?
Oh, slavery.
Oh, good.
Yeah. They say there's more slaves now than ever.
Who's they?
Same guy that told you about XM.
Okay, good.
Dan Solman.
That sounds like accurate information. It probably, depending on the definition, sadly, that's probably true. All right. Well,
but that's also,
bring this podcast down.
That's got more to do with the invention of penicillin than anything.
Slavery?
I mean, just more fucking people.
Okay. So lower percentage, but a higher volume.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
In fact, I would, as a good news guy, I would go out and say, hey, great news. Lowest slavery per capita ever.
There you go. It's all about the slavery spin.
Yep.
Yeah. Paul, we can definitely edit this out, right?
No way. It's like HIV medication. It doesn't get rid of it completely.
Right.
See how I just twisted it to make it okay?
I did. No, yeah. And it feels totally okay now. Yep. I was just thinking about how good this conversation feels right now and how not uncomfortable at all am I about this conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, baseball.
Don't know even who plays for the team.
Red Sox have been very mediocre, if you care.
I want a free sandwich because of Red Sox trivia.
How'd that happen?
I went to DNG Deli in Norwood and I got 3 of 4 questions right.
What were the questions?
I sent them to you.
Oh, I didn't know that was for a contest.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? I just write things on a board in my fucking apartment?
I think you write random questions in our text thread constantly, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, not about that.
There's
I want a free chicken salad sandwich.
From Dan and says, well, this has to be a contest.
A couple of them are pretty easy. Most starts for opening day in Red Sox history. You got that, I think. Clemens. Most hits by a shortstop. You said Hanley? Is that Hanley Ramirez?
No. What? Hanley never played shortstop for us.
That's what I thought.
I would not say.
Who the fuck are you even talking about?
I think it was probably Rico Petrocelli.
I thought you said Hanley.
No, I did not.
Okay. Was Rico Petrocelli the guy that died because he got hit in the head?
No, you're thinking of Tony Conigliera.
Ah.
Yeah.
Screwing up my Italians again.
Yep.
You could have told me Vito Corleone.
He was a catcher.
He was definitely a catcher's body.
Yeah. He's stout. He was a catcher in the 30s.
Yeah. It would have been great. You know, there's an outtake of The Godfather where Fredo turns and he's like, since when the fuck do you eat fruit? He gets up to eat fruit, and then he gets shot.
I can't tell if you're making it up.
No, I'm making it up.
Sure. It's such a random thing to make up. I was like, I guess that could be true.
Yeah. I saw you retweeted a Ghostbusters joke I made that was very inside baseball.
I remember retweeting it. What was the joke? Because I remember liking it a lot. It was very good.
Well, because you remember at the beginning of the movie, the guy says to Venkman, "You are a poor scientist, Dr. Venkman."
Yes.
So, and then at the end of the movie, he says to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that nobody steps on a church in my town, which is proof that he was in fact a poor scientist.
Maybe this is a theology podcast.
Oh, well, I mean, actually, it's not true because, like, if it weren't for the Catholic Church basically invented modern science.
That is true.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question. If the Nets had actually won one of those games, do you think James would have been available for this podcast?
No, I think James doesn't even like the Nets.
Yeah, he's got a very weird relationship with them where they're sort of his team, but he doesn't really seem to care for them at all.
They moved from his state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would just become a general NBA fan at that point, which he seems like he's done. I think he's a bigger Mavs fan than he is anything.
Yeah. Brooklyn, kind of a mistake moving to Brooklyn.
Total mistake. Seattle. You got to go to Seattle.
Should have gone to Vegas. They would have gotten
Seattle and Vegas. I think the NBA should do that bubble in Vegas, but you can have fans at it.
Yeah.
Just neutral site games that you have in Vegas. As part of a West Coast swing or some shit.
Simmons was guaranteeing on his podcast that Seattle and Vegas are getting expansion teams.
I hope they don't move from New Orleans because I've always wanted to go to New Orleans.
I'd like to go to New Orleans. I feel like it would be very weird to expand to two cities when one city is clearly not working out very well.
Well, it might work out if they're awesome. They might be awesome next year.
They've had good talent.
Yeah, but they've not been a winning franchise.
No.
So if you get Zion back and you got McCollum and Ingram, that's pretty fucking good.
I guess you keep it rolling a little bit longer.
Just keep it rolling. I mean, San Antonio worked. Why did San Antonio ever work?
San Antonio, cities that get their first sports team always do well.
It's a football. New Orleans, a football team.
Yep. Whenever they get their first one, San Antonio, Portland with basketball, Las Vegas with hockey.
Yeah. Alvin David was stationed in San Antonio, and he said it's just an awful, awful place.
But they love that team.
Yeah. I would love that too. Yeah, the Blazers. I would love the Blazers.
Yep. When you're the first team in a city, that city is so grateful to finally be recognized in a different way that they are devoted to whatever that sport is.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Yeah, the Thunder. The Thunder shouldn't have ever gone there. That's a total bummer.
Yeah, gigantic mistake.
Yeah.
Incredible that they allowed that to happen.
I would force my way off of that. I wouldn't live in any tornado city ever.
They moved to a dramatically smaller market, and then they've been crying poor for the last 10 years.
If I was rich, I would only live in a city where I have an advantage over the poor in natural disasters.
Well, you'd have a nice bunker.
But I can still die. I mean, if I'm rich, there's no scenario where, earthquake, I suppose.
If anything,
so I wouldn't live in LA.
Your money would benefit you more in natural disaster situations in Tornado Alley than any other natural disaster.
Oh, no way. The rich after Hurricane Katrina, didn't even get a fucking wet sock.
But you are essentially going to be flooded with water, and
they weren't flooded with water.
It's hard to build any kind of structure where you're not going to get affected by the water and the overflow that happens in a dramatic hurricane. If you're in a tornado, at the very least...
Have you never heard of a hill? You live on top of a hill.
But the water's still going to inundate you.
No, it's going to go down.
In one of the great...
You are a poor scientist.
In one of the great mountainous regions of New Orleans...
The French Quarter got fucked.
Yes.
Because it's at the bottom of a hill.
There are no huge hills where
water finds its lowest level, much like my sense of humor.
There was no mountain in New Orleans that you could have lived on to avoid Katrina.
You don't even need a mountain. You need to be above sea level.
Isn't all of New Orleans below sea level?
No. The French Quarter got fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of it was fine.
True, or do you actually know it is true that not all of New Orleans...
I watched a documentary by Spike Lee.
Well, it
was called He Got Game.
I'll stand corrected. I will stand, but I still think you would do better. Your money would protect you better in a tornado zone than any other zone.
Look, I just won that one.
No, you won whether or not being on a hill in New Orleans would help.
There's no question that I just mean there's a certain randomness to tornadoes and earthquakes that even though I have a nice fucking house or some shelter, there's no way to say that I'm not out cheating on my wife or something and that a fucking God decides to go at me at this. Hey, theology again.
We're back. We are back to the finger of God, which always is a dirtier phrase.
That was God calling just now.
Nice. All right. Is there anything else we need to cover this week?
You want to do a bet of some kind?
Yeah. What are we betting?
What team wins the most? No. Yeah. Not what team wins the NBA champ. Yeah. What team wins the NBA championship? Or the tiebreaker is your team won the most games.
All right. Let's each draft 3 teams and we'll see which one of those teams actually wins the championship.
I was just going to say pick a team, and then if either team doesn't win, we'll just, as the tiebreaker, we'll go from henceforth which team won the most games. This will allow us to do another bet. Then we can repick something.
All right. I'll go with that.
Okay.
All right.
You want to do rocks, paper, scissors, or odds and evens?
All right.
Or who's got the best secret?
We'll do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
All right. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot. Oh, fuck you.
What fuck you?
You fucking went way later. And you got to get your hand in front of the thing. How do I know you're not going like that and then you're just coming in like this?
If I was going to do that, would I have done the same thing you did?
The new game.
I didn't win.
You want to play Monopoly?
Absolutely.
Paul, think of a number, 1 to 10, and we'll each say a number, and then whoever's the closest. You got it. 6.
5.
Number was 8.
Yes.
Go for it.
I'm going to pick the Golden State Warriors.
You're taking the Warriors. Trying to think of... Like the East is just tough. I don't believe in Miami.
Didn't you just say the Celtics are the favorites?
I do think the Celtics, I said if the Celtics win the series, they're the favorites, but they're going back to Brooklyn, and I still think there's a chance that things could get fucking weird.
Of course.
Boston is either going to lose in the first round or win the title.
Okay.
I don't believe in Golden State. Phoenix, I would take Phoenix, but Booker got hurt.
Booker got hurt.
All right, I'm still taking Phoenix. I'll take Phoenix. He's going to be back.
Phoenix. Why don't you believe in Golden State?
Clay does not look right. Clay does not look right.
He hit 6 threes last night.
I know.
27 points. And he's their 5th best player.
He's going to get exposed in the next round.
Okay. I just think when you put him and Poole and fucking Curry out there, that's a lot of points.
That's why you picked him.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I ignored them. Like I could have picked them and said, no, you took them.
All right. You picked a team that's an underdog to the Pelicans tonight.
I'm taking Phoenix for now.
And Chris Paul, who is, I think, shorter than me.
I'm taking Phoenix for now.
Okay. I feel great about this one. And what's the wager?
Yeah, what are we betting?
I like the sports book thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Especially I like the way I never gave you yours.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's great. So you can
I'll
just
mail that fucking thing to you. Just text me your address again. Or I can search it. You taught me how to search the my text, which has been invaluable.
Has it?
Yeah. I had a lot of double bookings.
You're welcome, Bookers of Boston.
What's amazing is I have a lot of openings too.
There you go.
So I was like, like May 30th, I had 3 gigs. And then, May 29th, nothing.
Were you able to change any of those?
Yeah.
Speaking of gigs, you got anything to plug this weekend?
No.
Okay.
I'll be in Webster, Massachusetts.
All right.
Named after Daniel Webster, the abolitionist.
I heard that. I'm at the Comedy Attic in Worcester this weekend. If you want to hear me tell old jokes,
I can give you your book.
You're there?
Well, I mean, Webster. I have to go through Worcester to get there anyway.
Stop at the Attic. There you go.
I'll stop at the old Comedy Attic, which has been 3 different places in the time I've gone there. It's been the Park Grill, which is fun because the restaurant still has the parking sign that says "Welcome to the Park Grill."
Well, the restaurant is still the Park Grill.
It was something else. Biagio's?
That I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, in any case, it's a fun room. It's a great room. Go see Mike at the Comedy Attic.
Fun little space.
Yeah. And go see me in Webster.
Can you be any more specific than the town?
I don't know that much yet. I'm making $200.
Hey, you're a rich man. Look who can get that kidney.
That is right. The money in the town. And the town's relation to slavery.
Well done.
It's good to know going in.
Yeah, don't book anything in Brookline. Trust me. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs. We'll be back probably in a week-ish.
Go Bees.
Go Bees.